Thoughts if you can, please.
Start should have gone one up. Great opportunity for Sarge. Then concede a fantastic finish from Barry Bannon, to be fair, and a bit where we were at the minute, didn't respond well. I thought became a bit passive with and without the ball in duels, and didn't play with enough aggression and intent, which we spoke about at half time. And then I thought came out second half, and where we were at the minute, we showed a response, we showed some fight, we showed some purpose, we played forward, ran forward. Created some really good opportunities, albeit conceded a couple of decent ones as well, and for me deserved the point.
Yeah, I mean, as you say, it did show a lot of character there in the second half. But on the first half, the goal, as good a strike as it was, I'm sure you'll look back at that, I'm sure you already have done, and it's kind of sourced from you turning the ball over, isn't it?
Yeah, and Sarge is in if the pass comes off. I think if you look at it, it's the outcome if it does come off is Sarge is in on goal 1v1. So Barry's done that against me numerous times in the last 4 or 5 years. So know what he's capable of, but we then have to. And where we're at the minute, we just don't respond well. Any adversity, we go within ourselves a little bit. So tonight, I think the fact we came out second half and showed a response is exactly what we need to do. So we have to use the experience of tonight as a group to understand what do we need to look like. It's not about where we're at the minute, playing fantastic, beautiful football, and I think we become a bit passive when we have a bit of adversity, and that's the last thing I want. I want us to play forward. I want us to be brave. I want us to take risks. I want us to run forward. I want us to, show a level of aggression, which is, that shows that we understand the fight we're in.
As you say, you are in a fight. After 6 straight defeats, is that what you will go away from tonight? That they have dug in, they have got a point. It has stopped that losing run, and it has to be the start of something from here, isn't it?
Yeah. We have to. And it can change so quickly. I think if you look at some of the other teams in the division that already have been on, 4 or 5 game losing runs, quickly then put a string of results together, and that's what we have to do. We have to take the point tonight. We stop the run of defeats, as you said. We then have to make sure that we get back. We recover tomorrow. We're in Friday, and then we go and show a response again on Saturday, and take the bits that we wanted to look like second half. Like I said, just the purpose to play forward, run forward. That was for me the biggest difference, and the fact we made a few tackles. That's been crying out for it. So again, the lads responded really well, and we have to take the positives from that.
Do you think that is going to be enough, though? What you've produced today as a collective, for those ones who clearly do need, convincing is probably an understatement. They need far more than what they've seen tonight again, don't you think?
Say again.
In terms of, is that enough to convince those who aren't having, you and the players this season because of what they've seen up to this point? Is that character that you've shown in the second half enough to convince some of those doubters?
You've got to start winning games, I think, before you start convincing people. I'm quite clear on that. I think it's difficult, right? I think if you look at the 6 games that we've lost, the actual performances, we've probably played a lot better than we did tonight and created much better opportunities and restricted the opposition to very few chances. But then we've not responded well to levels of adversity, which we have tonight. So again, I think it's just trying to chase, bringing it all together, and be dominant, play with purpose, keep the teams pinned back, but ask questions by getting at people. I saw more people taking people on tonight. They're having a little while in terms of 1v1s in attacking areas, and that I want to see that. The lads, it's when you're in a tough time, it's easy to pass on responsibility by going square or back, and that's what we don't need where we're at the minute. We need that intent, that that desire to be the one to step up and go and do it by showing that.
I wanted to ask in the first half area, clearly you want players to show fight and that it means what it means, but it looked like there was a bit of a disagreement there with Duffy and McLean, and obviously Duffy didn't reappear for the second half. Can you give us any insight what was going on there?
I think when you look at it, heat of the moment. I think that in terms of Chat McKennie, it was just heat of the moment, which happened. And then when you look at it, we changed from a back 3 to a back 4 at half time. And that when you look at it, I think naturally it will get blown up, I'm sure. But just a heated discussion, it's fine.
So, just to clarify then, that was more of a tactical situation in terms of him not reappearing for the second half?
Yeah, we were going to go to a 4. I think that was the bit that we'd spoken about in terms of, hence, if you look at the difference keeping Joe and Oscar wide, it was a change to do that. And emotions are, I want fight, I want that, but there's obviously levels to it as well in terms of how you operate. And for me, it was one of those. Tactically, we felt keeping wingers wide would hurt them.
A real positive tonight to get Chris Gardner back in there, and he showed obviously second goal for the club, but in the penalty box, probably what you've been missing, gives Sargent a bit more of a wingman as well, so that's a big boost.
Yeah, and you see it, Sarge dropping in, turning, really unselfish, great. And that's what we probably lacked a little bit, I think, at the end. The quality on the decision or the execution of the final bit, and Sarge produced a moment of real unselfish quality to get the goal for us. So they're linked up quite well. I think they'll complement each other quite well, and having him back and building him up, and I think he looks sharper every time he plays at the minute, and we need to touch wood, keep him heading in that direction.
How much of a temptation though was it when you kept him sort of on the bench tonight and brought him on at half time? But given the situation you're in, has it been tempted to maybe just fast track him and get him into your starting line?
Yeah, I'd love to. I think it's one of those we have to take risks, but you have to take calculated ones in terms of and not be reckless. And I think we know we've got another game at the weekend. Obviously, Leicester played yesterday. We play tonight. Travel as well. So I think in terms of trying to get everybody through the week and responding right at the weekend is also important.
Another injury negative, it looked like. What can you tell us initially on Jeff Schlupp?
Looks like a hamstring again.
Yeah, the way he sort of pulled up and was holding it, yeah. So again, it's a well-worn path now, just to get it back, assess it, and then you'll have a better idea. Yeah.
Scratch your head on it. I've never experienced it before. It scratched my head because when I look at the work that's done, he plays Saturday. I thought he was outstanding first half. Off Sunday, we do recovery work on Monday. Very light yesterday, and then we go again tonight. And obviously, that happens. So it's frustrating. It's difficult. It's challenging, but we have to move on.
As you say, it's final one for me. Moving on, he's now back to Cairo and Leicester. Clearly, we all know last weekend the reaction there, inside the ground, outside the ground. That feels big again, doesn't it? You need to change the narrative at Cairo Road now, don't you?
Yeah, completely. Keep saying it. I've been saying it from Millwall at home, right? I think in terms of how desperate we are to win, and we have to show the fight and passion we did tonight. I think that and I have to say the fans through the game were excellent tonight. So appreciate their travel, their support on a Wednesday night in a long, almost a long distance. And we have to show that fight that we showed second half tonight, and show the real purpose, the real intent, and we understand we're in a fight. We have to now show that and show the same level of passion, like I said, that we did second half. Thank you.
Yes, Liam. In terms of tonight and the event that Wednesday created, how much was that a part of any conversation beforehand in terms of coming here and knowing it was going to be an atmosphere and that sort of?
Yeah, we spoke about it. We knew it would be where we're at the minute. I think in terms of the timing to come here, it kind of fits to where we're at. I think this place can get rocking. I think in terms of it's had some real tough times. With the history of the club and everything it's been through, it's nice to see people back here and back behind it. But we knew it would be a tough challenge. I think they're a really honest, hard-working group that have, like I've spoken around, sometimes you have to go through tough times to bring you together. And I think when you look at what the club has done over the years, it's definitely brought people together, I think, in the challenges they've faced. And
in terms of Barry, you mentioned it there. He's done this at this level for a long time.
Against me numerous times as well, unfortunately.
Yeah, was there a goal at Oxford? Or
MK away 3-2, yeah. Saturday night game.
Well, what can you say about Barry?
I gave him some stick afterwards. To be fair, I gave him some abuse because it seems like it's not the first time he's done it against us numerous times. He's a credit to himself, his family, and the club. I think in terms of when you look at what he's done here, how he's dragged people through. I think, and the fact that his age is still producing moments like that speaks volumes about him. So I wish it wasn't tonight, unfortunately, but he's a good guy and a good professional.